Hello future engineers, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to present how to convert line load with equation into an equivalent point load or concentrated load. And you need your background in integral calculus, especially on computing areas and finding the centroid of that area. And I hope that you can recall the tools in integral calculus, which is the first moment of a mass. And the mass here is this force, equivalent force, generated from this line load. So I hope you can bear with me. So determine the equivalent force and its line of action from the origin. Solved in two ways. The intensity of loading is given by W equals 3x plus 2x squared in kilonewton meter. So this is the line load. And remember that this line load can be represented by a force P, concentrated load P. And that is only done when you compute for external reactions. You cannot do this when you determine the internal forces in a structural element. So let's focus first on transforming this line load into an equivalent concentrated force, concentrated load, and we have to specify the distance of that load from the origin. So we have to consider a strip. This is a rectangular strip of thickness dx and height w. So the area, which is equal to, remember, it is equal to this differential force here, because W is in kilonewton meter times thickness dx in meter, then that would be in kilonewton unit of force. So the concept is it's just an area. So considering this differential area, dP therefore, differential force therefore is equal to the differential area of this rectangular strip, and of course the area of the rectangular strip is height times thickness. So W times dx. Integrating, integral of dP is P, then we have integral from 0, limits of x would be 0 to 3, of the quantity W, which is 3x plus 2x squared dx. So I'll evaluate this manually, and you can actually evaluate this using your high-tech calculator. So it is 3x squared over 2 plus 2x cubed over 3, limits from 0 to 3. So since the lower limit is 0, lower limit will have 0 value. So substitute the upper limits. 3 times 3 squared over 2 plus 2 times 3 cubed over 3 minus lower limit 0. And using your calculator, it is 31.5 kilonewtons. Likewise, to locate the centroid, we use the first moment of a mass. That's the term in integral calculus, but actually related to statics, that is the same concept as the Varignon's theorem. That is, the moment of the resultant is equal to the sum of the moments of its components, but this is in integral form. So the moment of the resultant, let us say P, and its distance from the left or from the origin is xg, that's the moment of the resultant force, is equal to the sum of the moments of its component. Then sum is replaced by this elongated s. This is integral sign. Elongated s means sum of the moment of its component. The component is dp, and the moment arm of dp is x sub c, and this x sub c here is just x because we consider vertical strip. Every element of the strip vertically is equidistant from the y-axis, from the w-axis, and that distance is simply x. Vertical line, the distance from the vertical axis is x. So that's why we have x sub c d times the differential force. Take note, moment of the resultant, then this is the moment of the component, the component is dp and the moment arm of dp is x sub c. We replace x sub c by just x, and we have dp, which is going back here, w dx, w dx. So we just copy 3x plus 2x squared dx. So again, evaluating manually, this is 3x squared. The integral is 3x cubed over 3, or simply x cubed. Then we have 2x cubed. The integral is 2x to the fourth over 4, and 2 over 4 is 1/2. So we have x to the fourth over 2, limits from 0 to 3. So 31.5 xg is quantity 3 cubed plus 3 to the fourth over 2 minus 0. And using your calculator there, computing, xg is 15 over 7 meters exactly. So the equivalent concentrated force is 31.5 kilonewtons, and the equivalent and the location is 15 over 7 to the right of the origin. Now, can you always use integration? Yes, you can use integration, integral calculus, in computing the area, which represents the equivalent concentrated load or point load P, and specify its location from, let us say the reference point is the left, or the origin in this case. Now, I derive in general the formula for the area of the nth degree curve. It is product of base and height divided by n plus 1. So you just look at that derivation from the preliminaries about loads, and then you can use that formula. For the location of the centroid, it is from the centroid to the right from the value, this leg here, it is equal to b, it is equal to this base over degree of the curve plus 2. So remember that. So then you just memorize that. Then if you can memorize that, you can easily locate the location of the equivalent concentrated load from the left. Now I'll present that here, but that formula, remember, is applicable only if applicable directly, especially for just for the area, but the centroid is applicable for that case. Applicable when the tangent to this point here is horizontal. But if the tangent is not horizontal, then you cannot apply that formula directly. You can only apply the location for the area and the centroid, location of the centroid of the area, if you do define the tangent first, tangent line. So if I draw the tangent line, this is the tangent line to this point, because w is not, the tangent derivative of w with respect to x is not 0 from this given information here. So by the way, 27 kilonewton per meter is 3 times 3 plus 2 times 3 square. So I hope that you got that. So again, the derivative of 3x plus 2x square, which represents the slope of the tangent to this curve, is 3. So because this is 3 and this is 4x, when x is 0, this is 0. So the slope is 3. So if it is 3, which is this is the derivative, so 3. So remember that tangent of this angle, the angle that this tangent makes with the horizontal, is equal to the slope of the tangent to this curve. So since the slope is 3, then tangent of theta is opposite divided by adjacent. So tangent of theta, which is 3 equals opposite divided by adjacent, which is also 3. Therefore, the opposite side is 3 times the slope, which is 3. Therefore, it is 9 kilonewton per meter. Again, tangent of theta is 3. It is opposite over adjacent 3. So the opposite is 3 times 3. Slope times this distance. And that's always true. Slope times this distance is this vertical distance here, or which is in kilonewton per meter. So the remaining height here for this second degree curve is 18. 27 minus 9 is 18. So we have two areas, area of the triangle plus area of this second degree curve. So for the area of the second degree curve, we can now apply the formula base times height, product of perpendicular dimensions divided by n plus 1, as well as for the location of the centroid. So I'll do that here as an alternate solution. So therefore, P equals area 1 plus area 2. Area 1 is this triangle here, which you know, 1/2 base times height. And area 2 is BH. Base is 3, height is 18. So the perpendicular dimensions for area 2 would be 3 meters by 18. So for the triangle, 1/2, this is 1/2. I just use the formula so that you will know that it is still 1/2 base times height. So 1/2, 3 base, height for the triangle 9. Then for this second degree curve, area under this second degree curve, it is 3 base, 3 height is 18 perpendicular dimensions divided by degree 2 from this given W here plus 1. So calculating, P is equal to 13.5 plus 18. So that's also 31.5, which is the same value when we evaluate the area by integration. And again, you can always apply integral calculus to compute for that equivalent concentrated load as well as for the location of the centroid. Now, I apply Varignon's theorem for computing xg. So for the triangle, the centroid from the right is b over n plus 2. b over 1 plus 2. The degree of the straight line, by the way, is 1. And this is second degree. Remember, equation of the line is y equals slope times x to the 1. So that's the reason why it is first degree, then plus b, y slope intercept form. So 31.5, this is Varignon's theorem, which is the same sense as this first moment of mass. So 31.5 times xg equals P1, which is the triangle, force 1, which is the triangle, moment arm is 2, because this is 1. Remember, 3 over degree of triangle 1 plus 2. So 1, then therefore this is 2. 2/3 of 3. Then for the second degree curve, this area here, area 2, the equivalent force is 18 kilonewton, and the moment arm, this distance here is equal to, this distance here, by the way, is equal to B3 divided by degree, which is 2 plus 2. So 3 over 4, 3/4. Therefore, this distance, so this is 3 over 2 plus 2, that's why it's 3/4. Therefore, this distance of 18 kilonewton load from the left is 3 meters minus 3/4, and that is 9 over 4. So that's why you have 9 over 4 here. So calculating xg, it is also exactly 15 over 7 meters. Now, for the other way of computing area 2, if you don't like 3 times 18 over degree plus 2, at degree plus 1, which is this, then there is another formula, which is using this base, this inclined base here, and therefore the perpendicular height would be this h. So I'll call this b, and this is h, perpendicular. So this is theta, tangent theta. Remember, tangent theta is, slope is 3, so this should be 3, this should be 1, and this should be square root of 10. 1 square root of 1 square plus 3 square is square root of 10. So 1 over n plus 1. Base would be b, which is square root of 3 square plus 9 square for this triangle here. Then the height would be h, and that h is, because this is 18, and that's the perpendicular height, h, it is 18 times cosine of theta. This height h is 18, because we have a right angle, h is perpendicular to this extension of b. 18 times cosine of theta. Excuse me. So 18 cosine of theta, and cosine of theta here is equal to 1 over square root of 10. So area 2, just for area 2, because you know already for area 1, that's a triangle. Of course, you know the area. So it is BH over 2 plus 1. The base is this inclined height, and the height should be this h here, which is perpendicular to this inclined height. So that it is still BH, product of perpendicular dimensions, over n plus 1. So the degree is 2 and plus 1. That's the formula which I derived. Then the base again is square root of 3 square plus 9 square. Then the height is 18, as mentioned, hypotenuse 18 times cosine theta adjacent. And over 2 plus 1, and cosine theta is from this triangle, slope of the tangent, which is 3. 3 over 1 is 3, so this should be cosine theta is 1 over square root of 10. So calculating, the area 2 is still equal to 18 kilonewtons, which is equal to this area 2 or P2, 18 kilonewtons. So that's it for this video. I hope that you learn another important thing in statics. Just keep on solving and looking at my or watching at my uploaded videos, and do not just watch, but when you see the problem, I want you to solve problems by your own. Anyway, the answers are found. Then that's the way you can practice, so that when you are confronted with similar situations, then you know already what to do.